Saif al-Islam, the son of ex-president of Libya, Gaddafi, has been unalived at his home. His family members and his media spokesman reported that men that were unidentified came to his place, took down his CCTV, and unalived him. Actually, gunned him down, is what they reported. Saif al Islam was 53 years old. He was the only son that was left in Libya. He didn't go on exile like his other siblings when Gaddafi was overthrown in 2011. As you know, his father was loved by many and hated by some. He was a figure that I I wish. Let me just show you um, an image. I want to show you an image. What Libya looked like when Gaddafi was running it, versus when it's not uploading. But you can go on Google search. Libya was a beautiful country when Gaddafi was the president. But once he was overthrown, the country is in shambles. And some people were hopeful when Saif al Islam said that he'll run for the presidency in 2021. A lot of people got excited. They saw him as a hope. They were, the words they used was nostalgia, because it made them feel like there's a chance that our life will go back to what it used to be when Gaddafi was in power before he was overthrown, right? And some of the things, and you can't blame them. You can't blame them for having hope to being back to where they once were, the glorious times, right? I'll read for you what the Libyans had when Gaddafi was there before the West took him out. So there was free healthcare, free education, and it's all levels. University education was free. Students were paid stipends. The state funded study abroad for thousands of Libyans. As I said, there was free healthcare, and if the treatment that you need as a patient was not available in Libya and the hospitals can't take care of you and the doctors don't know how to, the state, the government, Gaddafi's government will pay for you to get your treatment abroad, outside of Libya. Housing was seen as a right during Gaddafi's reign, during Saif al Islam's father's reign. So, since housing was considered as a human right, they were giving them subsidies, like the government will help you pay. If you can't even pay at all, sometimes they'll even pay for you fully. And newly married couples received financial assistance or housing support. When you're getting married, you're in love, don't worry about it. The government is going to help you out. The government is going to assure that you have a smooth transition into your new life. Rent was heavily subsidized, as I said, and there was no personal income tax. Libyans did not pay income tax, and state oil revenue funded public services directly. There was some free utilities, but for the most part, cheap utilities, like electricity was extremely cheap. Fuel prices were amongst the lowest in the world during Gaddafi's time. Water was heavily subsidized, and their currency, the dinar, Libyan dinar, was strong, like relatively, but strong. And there was low poverty and homelessness. I mean, how can there be homelessness issue when the state is quite literally paying for your rent when you can't afford it, and giving you a house or rent when you're getting married? Um, and also, oil wealth distribution domestically was his big selling point. Like, he made sure that the oil revenue that he gets primarily benefited Libyans within Libya, and citizens directly benefited rather than foreign corporations like we see nowadays with other countries. And the standard of living in Libya was high. And there were better living conditions than many countries. And they also, wait for this, had food subsidies. So the government will help you with food. They, like, basic foods items were subsidized. Also, bread and other foods were affordable for nearly everyone. So no one was going hungry or sleeping hungry. The country during Gaddafi was debt free. Okay, so the IMF and the World Bank can't push their restrictions on them because they don't owe them any money. And last but not least, his Pan African attitude. He funded infrastructure, banks, telecoms, and development projects across Africa. And also, he was pushing, advocating for African economic independence and gold backed African currency, which was like one of the last things he was able to talk about before he was taken out in 2011, the NATO backed overthrow, right? So, yeah, his father, during his father's time, Libyans lived well. Of course, he had oppositions, and um, he never allowed, oppositions to thrive. That's for sure. That was true. Um, but the West likes to call him dictator, this dictator that, this evil man. But then they took away this man, and the country is left in shambles. From 2011 to 2026, they still are uh, in chaos. And when in 2021, his son, the son that they just unalived, took out, Saif al-Islam, wanted to be part of the election. The election was postponed indefinitely. So they still haven't had an election. They're still fighting. And now that he's taken out, some Libyans feel like their hope has been taken because they believed that he represented hope because he was Gaddafi's son. He was seen as the successor of Gaddafi. And they were hoping that he's going to bring them back to that reality where everything seemed good. They were financially okay. They were eating well, drinking well, driving well, having a beautiful country. So that's why they were hopeful. Like, there was this video that was released of women where Gaddafi comes from, his region. When they heard the news, they went out to the streets wailing and crying as if they lost their own children, their own child. And there was the other side of the spectrum where, obviously he had enemies, right? Saif, they were out celebrating his death when it was announced. So it's in a nutshell, it's not black and white. It's very unfortunate though that he lost his life, and this is what the spokesman said during his interview when he released the statement of, Saif al-Islam has been unalived. He said, Musa Ibrahim is his name. He said, quote, "They killed him treacherously. He wanted a united, sovereign Libya, safe for all its people. I spoke with him 2 days ago. He spoke of nothing but a peaceful Libya and the safety of its people." End quote. I think that's the best thing to remember Saif al-Islam with, because those were his words. And he wanted unity for his country. He wanted a peaceful country. He wanted to bring stability to his country. Unfortunately, he was taken out. And yeah, some Libyans are losing hope, which I don't think is the right thing to do. Yes, they lost someone, but they're also here right now. They can, as much as it's hard, they can try to do something about it. They could decide to regain control, to regain their country and say no to the current situation that they have fallen into. And yeah, may he rest in peace. his family, condolences to his family that are mourning him. Most of his family are living in exile, as you know, after Gaddafi was overthrown and unalived. They fled the country. He was the only one that was staying in the country. As you know, the International Crime Court uh, gave a warrant on to arrest him. He was arrested in 20, was it 11 or 15? 2011. And in 2015, I believe, he was sentenced to death. And but they eventually gave him amnesty, and he was a free man in Libya, aspiring to become the next president. And he has been taken out. Very, very, very sad. And that's what's happening. That's what happened um, hours ago. Yeah, it's a very unfortunate, honestly. Um, yep. Let me just say hi to the chats. Hi, Black Truck. Thank you. Please like and share, everyone. Thank you for saying that. Frankie said, I was in Libya in 2011. I witnessed what you're talking about. Libya was the best, better than Europe. Yeah, we've all seen the videos, the pictures, how they were before, and when you look at it now, it's just like rubbles. It's just ash. Like it's so sad to know that like they had such quality of life. Who can say? Even in America, they have free healthcare. Housing is seen as a human right. When you're a newlywed, you're given money support you. When you're sick, the state is paying for it. When they can't take care of you in the country, they send you somewhere else to be taken care of. Education was free, food was subsidized, fuel was subsidized, water was subsidized by the government. Which country? Even now, the ones that are calling him a dictator, the European countries, which country does that to for their people? Tell us. I was saying earlier, and I'll say it again. I believe when they saw Gaddafi and Libya, they it made them feel inadequate, the Western governments, and they realized that they can no longer bear to look at him and see what he's doing for his people with his resource when they have the resources and they're not even taking care of their own people. Instead, they want to instigate wars somewhere else. They want to taunt and start drama somewhere else. I think they really hated the fact that he was for the people and he's doing a lot for the people. And now his son, being a signal of successor of his dad and hope and bringing light into certain Libyans, they did not want that. So they did what needed to be done. Allegedly, we don't know who did it. By the way, they said it's unknown, or what is it called, unidentified men that came to his house, shut down the CCTV, and unalived him, is what his cousin and the spokesman said. So we don't know who did it, by the way. But let's also just to remind you what we talked about yesterday. Although he might not have been like a political leader for now, at least, even though he's seen as one, he didn't have he was not an active leader for sure. But yesterday we were talking about how Russian foreign intelligence, who they were reporting that allegedly President Emmanuel Macron has approved an aliving of certain unwanted African leaders. And we're seeing what's happening in Niger. They recently shut down an attack in Mali. We've talked about that. So it's interesting times to be alive for sure. Yeah, and to see what is going on in Libya right now, not just for their people, but other Africans as well. It's a hellhole. Like Africans are being smuggled through Libya, and the torture that they're facing and what is going on in Libya is just horrible. And I intend on talking about it and covering it very soon. So stay tuned. Libya has become such a horrible place to be at. So yeah, we just hope and pray that they find the strength somehow. They use this, what happened here, to bring out righteous anger in them to fight back for what is theirs, to fight for their rights and come back even stronger. Anyways, fam, thank you so, so much for being here. Hello, Pauline. Hi, MH. Hi, MF. Hi, Seth. Hi, Kenny. Hi, Frankie. Hi, Black Truck. Yeah, thank you for coming through. I'll see you tomorrow. And yeah, may he rest in peace. Bye.